Hello everyone, I'm Brian Croy Dragon and welcome back to Vox Adventures. Let's see here, what's to be done today? Spawn. Okay, back. Coding overload. No. Why some people don't decide that something doesn't need a pages numbered is beyond me. Where are we going? Into the horizon. Hello. Excuse me one moment. Yeah. He was a good boy, Alex. You are. You're a good kitten. Look at you, Alex. You snuffing anything you can. Well, that's just him on a daily basis. No, in the story It's a Wonderful Life is based on, the villain, Mr. Potter, was not a villain. He was just the owner of the local photo place. And and to my knowledge, he never physically appeared. So why turn someone who never appears into a villain? Just for the sake of having one? No, I don't know. That probably sounds like the reason. Sounds like a most likely reason. Dang. Actually, what even is the reason for doing that? Just for having a villain? I don't understand it. Those familiar with The Secret of Nim know the character of Jenner, but in the original novel, Mrs. Frisbee and the Rats of Nim, Jenner was not a villain at all. He was just he didn't even have a on-stage appearance, so to say. He was just someone who went off with his own group to do his own thing and ended up getting killed. How? What? Warp Christmas? Warp Isle. Got enough iron. Um, can't believe I've forgotten what to do. Help, I'm Frosty's prisoner. Oh. Just gotta right click. Yes, Alex. What? Yes, kitten. Sit down. Whoops. No, I just want to make a comment here on mashup packs, but when it comes to the mashup packs that completely change the look of the creepers, I find that a bit of an annoyance because I don't realize that's what they're supposed to be until they start exploding at me. Whoops. Hey, Alex. Ice Hag? What am I forgetting? Oh, right. Check for other crest givers. Yeah, they look a bit more Yeti-like. Did they last year, or was the Sully head still in use? I can't remember. Right, now, where exactly do I start? See if I believe. What the heck? Oh God! What? You know, Alex, I'd like it better if you were not laying on my arm. Yeah, well, I have a sword with yours. While I'm on the run. Why am I still going in that direction? The toys are in a cave somewhere. Oh, jeez. it's here, I can't remember. Yes. You're a good boy, Alex. Well, it's ice, but which one do I need to use? More. Let's go in search of more ice. More snow. Snow and ice. Ice and snow. thank you, Alex. Five left. Okay. Hmm. You know, if there's one luck for Heracles and I can't just shake it, it would probably have to be Nigel Green when he played Hercules and Jason and the Argonauts back in the 60s. You don't need a muscle man, you just need a good actor. Hello? Yeah, jeez. No, an interesting thing about the Captain America film serial from the 1940s is just how little it has to do with Captain America. I mean, he has the costume, yes, but let's take a look at things. His real name is Grant Gardner instead of Steve Rogers. He's a district attorney rather than a... I don't know what even was Steve Rogers. An artist? A private? Oh, this one. He didn't have any... There was no serum, there was no shield, he just used a gun. There was, of course, amusingly, when Bucky became Captain America, he himself would use a gun, and speaking of which, there was no Bucky. And most astonishingly, for a film serial featuring a Nazi fighter, a fighter of Nazis, that was made, okay, for a film serial that featured, for a film serial from World War II, based on a comic book about a guy who fought Nazis, there were no Nazis he was fighting. He was just your regular vigilante. Vigilante. Vigilante? Yeah. So he just faced the masked villain of the hour. It's interesting, yes. Using some ideas for it for a character of my own. But there's something very strange, and I just imagined as since John Cena described his portrayal of his version of Peacemaker as a broy, douchey version of Captain America. Uh, yeah, no serum, uses a gun. And keep in mind, Peacemaker was a character who was already around as far as what, the 50s, the 60s, one of those decades. So, yeah, obviously Peacemaker already existed as his own character, but it's kind of ironic considering that there is a portrayal of Captain America that isn't Bucky, that uses a gun, and that does not have any powers due to a serum, any abilities due to a serum. And that's, well, let's get on to the subject of something from the Captain America comics. The fictional right-wing terrorist group the Watchdogs first debuted during John Walker's tenure as Captain America. And if you don't know what his character is, he's basically a right-wing jackass. Not so much in the MCU, where he's much more likable, and there's no implication that he's right-wing, thank God. But 10 issues later, after that first battle between John Walker and the Watchdogs, well, I'm not gonna sugarcoat this for you. And it doesn't count as a spoiler, because keep in mind, John Walker's tenure was back in the late 80s. The Watchdogs took John Walker's parents hostage and killed them. Fast forward to the 2010s, where the worse conservative Captain America, the Captain America of the 1950s, William Burnside, ends up becoming the leader of the Watchdogs for a story arc called Two Americas, where Bucky as Captain America during Bucky's tenure, where he went up against Burnside, and just the fact that I mean, yeah, love the fact that the Falcon was involved. But given how personal things were, I mean, well, John Walker went on to become the hero US agent. With how personal things are, considering that the Watchdogs killed his parents, why wasn't he in that arc? I mean, yeah, you got a lot of characters to use. But it would have been interesting, a current Captain America, against a 1950s knockoff Captain America. You know, he was officially, can't call him a knockoff really, because he was officially Captain America. But I don't know, is John Walker dead or something? I have no idea. Could have had him, I mean, he probably would have gotten his ass kicked by Burnside. Honestly, I quite like the character of William Burnside as a villain. A good representation of what Captain America could have turned into if he didn't have his progressive ideals. It's really like it's kind of the hero against his against a dark mirror of himself. Yeah, I don't so much like the arcs where Burnside is present, but it's not really him. He's just a brainwashed stooge for someone else. There were two story arcs involving that. One from the 80s, I think. Maybe in the 70s. And one later following the death of Captain America. Not only a spoiler, it's like over a decade old by this point. Come on. Did I get it? Did I get it? I don't think I got it. Every year this happens. Need more flexibility, Alex, and I can't do that with you laying on my arm. Got it? And then where is it in my inventory? Yeah, my opinion on preferring the stories where Burnside is the antagonist in his own right instead of just being someone's brainwashed lackey. That holds the same for uh, many more villains. I prefer it when it's just them. No brainwashing. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, so where is it? So, what happened? Ever happened to William Burnside? Oh, he took up being a vigilante. Got hit by a truck. His death was faked, and he's not been seen going. Uh, in said he's going to be. Steve said he's going to be receiving help, so he can adjust to the 21st century. Well, he is a man from the 50s, after all. Uh, yeah, is there hope for him? I would believe that if he ever comes back. I don't know, like if he's officiating at a wedding between uh, two men, because yeah, he's against homosexual, being against from the 50s. He's got those types of values. So yeah, if he's officiating or a best man at a gay wedding, and given his prejudices towards non-rights, yeah, wanna want that. So, I wanna really see if he comes back. I really want to see that he's received help, that he's really adjusted, and for proof of that, I want to see him officiating at a gay wedding, or defending abortion, or just not being racist to people who aren't white. I mean, yeah, John Walker is sort of a jackass, but in the comics, he's still technically a hero, I guess. I mean, he started out as an antagonist, but I don't know. I mean, he was. What new name would William Burnside be given? I mean, he was born William Burnside. He legally changed his name to Steve Rogers. He returned to the name William Burnside. I don't know. Would they actually name him Grant Gardner or something? Oh, right, right. So, in the Corkemish series, there's going to be a character inspired by William Burnside, but I'm not going to give him half as optimistic an ending as William Burnside got. Okay, gotta find Pansy. I mean, I fully intend to use the name Grant Gardner. Yeah, but here's the thing. In the 90s, there was going to be a Captain America animated series. Never really fell through. And never really came to be. And Steve Rogers would have been a government assigned identity. His birth name would have been Tommy Tompkins. And keeping with the film serial portrayal of Captain America as just a vigilante, less super Canadian, I am Canadian, remember, would be a vigilante with his successor, the William Burnside equivalent, being government chosen to fight communists rather than gangsters, corrupt politicians, and violent husbands. Uh, that actually comes from. Oh God, my legs hurt. Comes from. The early Superman comics. Taking things from both Superman and Captain America for the characters. So the first Super Canadian vigilante named William Rice, who uses the alias Grant Gardner, Crown Attorney, not District Attorney, I'm Canadian. Why am I saying District Attorney? Crown Attorney named William Rice. Yeah, so he's a vigilante. Uses a gun, no powers, no serum or anything like that. Yes. Okay, let's find Pansy. So, how do I go on? So, his successor is government assigned, and instead of just Grant Gardner being an alias he uses, he legally changes his name to Grant Gardner. And keeping with how Burnside underwent plastic surgery and everything, even to have surgery to have his voice sound like Steve's. Yeah, same with this this new Super Canadian. So let's see. And I basically just picture Christopher Reeve. And I'm not gonna sugarcoat this, but our original Super Canadian is dead by the time the story happened. Good Lord, I'm getting distracted. I'm just walking around in a circle by this point. He was okay. So William Rice was WEISS was assassinated by our get this, our Bucky, Red Skull, Dan Turpin, Lex Luthor analog, Jonathan Curry. Yes, you heard that right. He's an analog to all of those characters. And keeping with how the Red Skull was originally not Johann Schmidt, he was just some American Nazi sympathizer, or member of the American branch of the Nazi Party. I'm not exactly sure which. I can't exactly remember if it was ever stated in the issue or not. He's just a the skull thing, it's just a mask. It's literally just a mask. Oh, also, he's a Spider-Man. And you have to understand, I don't mean this like he's an analog to Peter Parker or anything like that. He can turn into a giant human-sized spider. He's yeah, Curry is well, how do I put this? How can I put this? Well, he's one of the co-founders of the KKK analog, the Bannerets of the Annulus Band of Canada. My policy is that that there be no supervillains, and that the closest thing to a supervillain be a mad scientist. But there are also the non-main mundane villains, and Jonathan Curry definitely. He's a non-mundane villain amongst the mundane villains. You get there's quite a few of. I got a few of those actually. And am I sure why I did that? I don't know. Actually, maybe I am, because let's see, Carchemish himself, 10-foot tall wyvern with a skin of metal. His inside, his innards are plant matter. He does actually have a skeleton, so but yeah, so some of it may actually be out of a desire to. He's it's the series title. It's an antagonist title. Carchemish is an antagonist, and I really want there to be characters that can actually go up against that can potentially go up against him. I mean, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing him massacre to writing him massacre that white supremacist group, but still, I want there to be characters who can potentially fight back. Help. I'm being held prisoner. Time to find Venny. Yeah, there's a few spider people. And the reason they were originally supposed to be serpent people, but the reason I changed it is because serpent people are already some enough. They get enough, so I figured go with spiders. You know, Alex, there's nothing I'd like more to have a bit more room with the mouse pad. Uh, yeah, there's Jonathan Curry's daughter Vicky, who's actually half human. So her human form looks perfectly human. Her uh, spider form isn't exactly perfect. It's more half the transformation pretty much just ends halfway for her. There's also Campbell Ward, who's actually a member, by the time he appears, a member of the Moloch cult. Which is actually quite multi-ethnic. So clearly he doesn't exactly have any allegiance to the whole preserving the Britishness of Canada thing that the Annulus band has. And yeah, even the heroes are pretty diverse, so there's no there's no all white group, there's no all black group of heroes. It's just the heroes, and they're just yeah, they're a diverse group of people. That's for God's sake. And then you have the villain Graydon Jasper, inspired by Sabretooth and the Joker. He's a 120-year-old evil sorcerer, mad scientist, hotel owner, and boxing club owner. Yes, he's based off of the Joker. I do know of such a portrayal of the Joker where he is an over century old sorcerer. Obviously, I had it. There has to be some forerunner for such inspiration. Sabretooth, not so much. He was supposed to be 120 at one point, and that was where he was supposed to be Wolverine's father. Wolverine would have been 60, he would have been 120, so there you go. Where is Venny? Can you kiss him? Can you please give me a little bit of room here? That's not funny. Now here's the thing about Graydon Jasper and him being 120. 120, yeah, he's a member of the Anonymous Band, but here's the thing about him. His preserving of the Britishness of Canada thing. It's because he was born before there was any independence for Canada. He was born during the whole just a colony thing, I'm guessing you'd say. So he's got some dated views, while everyone else is pretty modern. And taking from Batman the Animated Series, which of course was one of the shows of my childhood, which I want to pay homage to. There's very much a 1940s aesthetic, and keeping with the ambiguous time period, one episode saying 1992 from the setting, another telling us it's 1948. It's 1948, kind of like that, but not really. A a lot of characters have have our modern sensibilities. The William Burnside analog will have more sensibilities that someone from the actual 1940s would have. So keeping that in mind, Jasper's yeah, he's not a good guy. He's not a good guy. I mean, obviously he's not, but the idea of Carchemish is that he's drawn to anything as unnatural as himself, out of a desire to kill them, and when they're scattered across a city, he's not really gonna pay it too much mind. He's not gonna pay them too much mind, but if we're all congregating into one place, yeah, you know he's if we're all congregated into one place, yeah, you know he's just gonna appear to kill them. And yeah, that's not exactly a good thing if there's innocent people nearby. He's not, after he kills, okay, let me put it this way, if he, say he kills all the individuals who are as unnatural as he is, he's not gonna stop with them. He's gonna turn his rage onto everyone else. Yeah, you can say, oh, he's just killing some white supremacists or some members of a sinister cult, but yeah, after he does that, who do you think he's gonna turn his attentions to? Where the hell is Vinny? No, that's tinsel. So as the series goes on and we know more of the nature of some of these villains, seeing quite a few of them in one place just will just give the reader a oh crap realization of what's gonna happen. Now, what kind of metal is Carchemish's skin? I was thinking bronze initially, but now I'm really feeling iron. I don't know, maybe titanium. No. Maybe let's stick with bronze. Anyway. So yeah, I've made it no open secret that Carchemish will appear in Instant Freeze, the current story, at which Campbell Ward is on trial. In which Campbell Ward's on trial, and yeah, besides him, there's a few others like him. Uh, there's there's a spider woman, maybe maybe in a case like Vicky, like half, but half human, half spider person. Yeah, so where was I going with this? Oh, yeah. No, wait. Where was I going with this? Oh, jeez, I. Yeah, anyway. So, there's gonna. Yeah, there's. In the crowd, there's going to be some other unnaturals, we'll call them. Non mundane, maybe some abominable, I don't know, unnaturals, abominations. And the fact is, the reason Karkemish appears is because there are these people, there are those beings, there's quite a few of those beings, and Karkemish's radar, we'll call it, is just really picking up this congregation, so to speak. So basically, yeah, very much the first case of something not good going on. I mean, or, no. There's been a few cases of not good. I mean, obviously, Karkemish rising from the dead in the first story was, not good. As was, the men in black attempting to abduct Henry and Catherine. But this is the first uh, time where Karkemish is actually, this will be the first time where Karkemish is actually pretty much in an area, in a place with a large crowd. There'd been his killing of the Poloniustus in Death in the Water. Where quite a few people where there had been a crowd, but it wasn't exactly a large crowd. You are not Venny. The members of the Bannerets of the Annulus Band of Canada are actually. Excuse me one moment. Stay. Okay, now, as I was saying, the members of the Bannerets of the Anonymous Band of Canada are actually the characters exempt from the green-skinned villain rule. There's a few others, but with them it's because I just did some thinking and white supremacists and they have green skin. It doesn't make sense. White supremacists, black supremacists, give them green skin and I'm not sure if it works. Just keep them with a normal skin color. Where is Venny? Oh. A lot of my villains actually, for the Carchemish series, there's basically a look for a lot of the villains. Green skin, maybe a physical defect of some kind, and a certain color association with them. For instance, blue and green, purple, and yellow, I think I chose. Who's my fireball? No. Yeah, I basically follow that sort of to look for my villains, but here's the thing, if they don't have green skin, a physical defect, or don't have that color association, blue, green, yellow, purple, yeah, you have every reason to be... It's more of a surprise that way. The character of Malachi Marks, a Two-Face and Green Goblin analog. I mean, he's got scaly green skin. And his Attire is actually based on the Green Goblin, not the Green Goblin, Two Faces, the evil half of Two Faces suit back when he originally appeared. So he's wearing a purple suit and I think an orange shirt. Green, purple, yeah. I don't, no, it wasn't yellow, it was orange. At least I think so. I'd have to check the document. And I've got him modeled after William Shatner, 35-year-old William Shatner. Him and his son, Maxwell, a bit of a Harry Osborn analog. But with all of the elitist, snobby jackassness of how Harry was initially portrayed in the comics. Oh, and he'll also be a murderer eventually. Yeah, he's got the same blonde hair, same scaly green skin. But he might have a different attire. A different color scheme for his attire, I'm not exactly sure yet. And Maxwell is 17, so he's a year older than our main couple, Henry and Catherine, who are both 16. 16, that's basically my starting age for stories that span multiple years. Not too young, not too old, and will the Carchemish series span multiple years? I don't know, maybe. But just in case, that's the age they're gonna be. Three is doable. And speaking of aesthetics, for my Jungle and Adventures story, I'm going for a 1950s or 1960s aesthetic. Haven't exactly chosen. And this one actually will be spanning multiple years, 11 in fact. So by the end of it, our main couple, Julian and Autumn, will be 27. give me some... Damn it. And yeah, that aesthetic thing I mentioned, it's basically in regards to what we call civilization. I'm not really feeling anything like the 90s or anything futuristic. I'm really feeling the 50s and 60s. The 40s I initially had under consideration for the aesthetic. But while I like the 40s aesthetic, I really wanted to do something different from Carchemish. I don't want it to be like it's in the same universe. That is not what I'm looking for. Frozen cakes! Where are you? And yeah, I of course mentioned the aesthetic for Carchemish being 1940s based for the most part. There is television, but it's 1950s based. There's helicopters, which are 1980s based, and uniforms are actually 1960s based. So while everyone else is dressed like the 1940s, if you have a uniform, it would be very much like something from the 60s. Yeah, I talked about the villains, and now let's talk about the sky. The sky is purple, which I think that's the color I chose, and the clouds are, well, not going to be any cloud. It's meant to be the hottest summer on record, so there might not be any clouds for a while. But when they do appear, they will be black in color. sky will just be purple and no one will comment on it. And this actually comes from the 1960s Spider-Man series. Another show from my childhood I want to pay homage to. So really just yeah, a primarily 1940s aesthetic. Villains with green skin, dressed in blue, purple, orange, and green. Black clouds, a purple sky. The buildings all in Art Deco. And the Art Deco style of architecture. Yeah, that basically gives you an idea of the setting. It's a bit of a weird aesthetic, pretty much a weird look for the setting. Yes, but it's my look. A look that I cobbled together through various influences. That is not a cake. I mean, you can eat ice, but it's not the sustenance that I've been sent to get. But yeah, it's really the villains who don't follow that basic. It's the villains that don't have green skin, who do not have some Dick Tracy worldly physical defect, or have a completely different color scheme attire-wise that you have to be careful about. What was that quote from Batman Beyond Return of the Joker? Not every creep wears a purple suit. Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, the green-skinned villains also come from the 1960s Spider-Man series. After the first season, there was a lot of villains that just inexplicably had green skin. And I'm not going the whole beauty equals goodness route. Henry himself is he's not particularly good looking. He's quite common in appearance. Most interesting thing about his physical appearance is his heterochromia. A blue left eye and a green right eye. While Catherine herself isn't beautiful, she's fairly attractive, but she's not beautiful. In fact, that's basically my standard for my romantic leads. The guy's not good looking, he's not particularly good looking, he's just common, and the girl's not beautiful, she's just fairly attractive. In fact, there's the character Ella Kane, classmate of Henry and eventually Catherine. Once it once summer holidays end and school begins in Actea, once September hits. Yeah, she's a beauty queen, a teenage beauty queen. Two-time winner of the Miss Teen Actea pageant. So yeah, I didn't initially have a name for her. I just had her listed as the blonde bitch. What place is this? Yeah, she's beautiful, yes, but she's also mean-spirited. One of those mean girls you know of in you probably knew in high school. She's also a delinquent. She has a lawyer follower who always gets her out, very much like one of the characters from Carrie. Also going to be taking inspiration from Mean Girls and Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Obviously she's a cheerleader, but a lot of it has to do with her being the head cheerleader because she usurped the position. And yeah, she's not all bad. She has it in her to be good on occasion, but she's still going to be an antagonist at some point, not a green-skinned one, not one with any physical defects, and she doesn't follow the color-coded attire, but still, to some extent she is an antagonist, but a fairly mundane one. She's not a gangster, she's not a corrupt politician, she's not a violent spouse, she's just one of the terrible type of people you would have known in high school. And trust me, I knew enough of them in high school. Anyway, that's all for today, everyone. Oh, jeez. Come on, cursor, move. Where'd the cursor go? Oh, there it is. Please, just... I'm Brian Croydragon, signing out. Stay straight.